But you know
Yeah.
what movie I suspect that Daniel didn't have any respect for at the end of it?
Yeah. Uh, so this movie's been kind of on my radar for a couple of years now. I've seen other YouTubers doing reviews of it. Um, and I found it on Tubi, of all places. You can find some weird stuff on Tubi.
It's
Uh,
basically a what can we get the streaming rights for $1,000 and buying lunch?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so this movie, The Demolitionist, is a mid '90s RoboCop ripoff. Um,
Now, is she the main character, or is she just a something they could put on the box to make horny teens rent it?
no, she's the main character.
Okay.
Although she doesn't really spend a whole lot of time in the suit, which is disappointing. Um, but
Interest immediately dashed. Now, go ahead.
yeah, yeah. But no, actually, let me pull up the character names real quick because they're kind of escaping me at the moment. But
I can't imagine why.
yeah,
Uh, I just sent you the IMDb page. I will be right back. Go ahead and keep going.
okay. Um, so the the star of the movie is Nicole Eggert, who I think her best known role to date is her a stint on Baywatch. She plays Alyssa Lloyd, and she's an undercover cop inside this gang of really hardened criminals led by Mad Dog Byrne, played by Richard Grieco, who I suspected uh, his salary for this movie went straight up his nose. And so she's working undercover in his gang. The movie starts off where Mad Dog, and his brother are about to be executed for their crimes because they live in this fictional city called Metro City, which is actually Dallas, Texas. Again, another little RoboCop thing there because that's where RoboCop was filmed in Dallas, Texas. Um, and and in the city, guns are completely banned. And so then,
Oh, wait. I just got back on. You mean to tell me that a city in Texas completely banned all guns?
yeah, apparently,
What a completely unrealistic sci-fi concept.
I know, yeah, yeah. Well, I was saying that they filmed the movie in Dallas, which just further goes to the whole RoboCop ripoff. But yeah, so Alyssa, Mad Dog's about to be executed. He and his brother, but then they manage to get out because they're a bunch of corrupt police, and so he gets away, but then they he goes back to his gang, and that's where Alyssa is, and but then she finds out that Mad Dog's planning to take out the mayor, who is played by the actress's name is Susan Tyrell. She was a very weird woman in real life.
Huh.
Uh, yeah, yeah. This movie is kind of like a who's who of B movie actors. You have like oddly enough, Bruce Abbott's in this movie. He was in another movie that I had reviewed a couple of weeks ago, Black Scorpion. Um, and you have Peter Jason's in it. He's the chief of police, corrupt chief of police. He was in a lot of Carpenter's movies, um, John Carpenter's movies, and then uh, Heather Langenkamp plays a reporter in the movie. Most people know her from Nightmare on Elm Street.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, Mad Dog finds out that Alyssa is a cop, and then does the whole you know Murphy, basically what happened to Murphy kind of happens to her. Not as graphic. It's not like a graphic death, but it's very similar to it. And then we meet. That's when Bruce Abbott's character comes in. He plays what was it, Professor uh, Crowley, Jack Crowley, and he's developed this nanotechnology that will bring her back to life. Uh, and so that's where the whole RoboCop thing comes from, and and of course he's very um, cold to her. Like he treats her like a like a test subject and not like a person,
Hmm.
which irritates the heck out of her. Um,
Understandably.
yeah, um, and but he keeps telling her, he has to, she has to control her emotions because you know it wears down the effects of the nanites because she has to keep getting these. She has to sit in this chair and keep getting these nanite injections in her.
Oh,
Otherwise, her body will rot and decay. And I will say, the movie was directed by Robert Kurtzman. Uh, I don't believe he's related to Alex Kurtzman. At least I hope hope he isn't. Um, but he was a makeup effects artist. That's
okay.
kind of where he made his living. And the makeup effects in this movie are really good. And so when you see her like decaying, it actually does look like she's, her body's falling apart. Um, speaking of makeup artists, Tom Savini, the great uh, makeup effects artist from 80s movies like Friday the 13th and oh I can't think of any other ones, but he has a role in the movie, and Bruce Campbell has a cameo in this. So
Okay, so that immediately elevates the movie a bit.
yeah, yeah. He's got a kind of a funny scene in there. But and so does Reggie Bannister. For those of you who don't know Reggie Bannister, he's in the Phantasm movies. Um, but uh, but then of course, eventually, it's not even. It's about halfway through the movie when she finally gets the suit and the guns and everything, and goes full RoboCop. And I will say, like, I was really disappointed that there weren't more like RoboCop action, like or just action scenes. I
Well, Daniel, those are expensive.
Yeah, that's probably what I. Yeah, that's yeah, yeah. This reeked of low budget. And they even have like they even kind of lift scenes from RoboCop in there. Like there's a scene where they kind of quasi do the your move creep, um, and then in the scene when RoboCop gets ambushed by the cops. They even kind of have a scene like that in there where she gets ambushed by them, but she manages to easily get away. Um, and basically, the movie is just her trying to hold on to some of her humanity, even though she's got all this machine stuff in her. And it's they try to play it up for melodrama, and it kind of is just like, okay. Um,
Yeah, please move on to the next action scene.
yes, please move on to yeah. I will say the action scenes are done very well. And I like the design of her suit. And I like her. I like the guns. The guns are pretty cool.
Do they
Uh,
actually shoot big bolts of yellow energy?
no, it's like a real it's almost like an assault rifle made smaller.
Hmm.
I will say she never runs out of bullets, which is
She's making them out of nanites. Shut up.
oh yeah, yeah. Okay. But it's I mean the entire time I was watching this movie, I'm just thinking what I would do differently, which is usually not a good sign. But I mean, apart from like the action scenes, the action scenes are good. I like her suit design, but like the story is like it's a like I said, it's a RoboCop ripoff. If you want to watch a movie like that, just watch RoboCop. Um, and you mentioned the ending at the beginning there. The ending was really dumb,
Hmm.
and, and it didn't make any sense either. Uh, because it didn't end the same way as RoboCop. Like nice shooting, son. What's your name? Murphy. Didn't have that.
Hmm.
Just total letdown. But
If
they,
you're gonna rip it off, go all the way.
exactly, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I kind of wish I kind of part of me wants to go out and find out who owns the rights to this property so that I can take it and make a comic book out of it and make it better.
Yeah, the license for this thing would have to be super cheap.
Oh yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's all I got to say about that.